What's happening, peoples? Welcome back, welcome back. If this is your first time finding my channel, the name of my channel is in the intro. Who am I? I'm Unc L. You call me Unc for short. Why? Because I'm old as hell and I'm somebody's uncle. And I'm that uncle that tells you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Rest in peace, Pops. As usual, always. Today, I am reacting to child support videos. Because this is one reason why there's a problem in the dating market and why men aren't participating in marriage or anything, because the system is stacked against us. Divorce court, family court, alimony, child support. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. But I'm not gonna keep running my mouth. I'm gonna let the content speak for itself. Let's get into it.
Got another good one for you. Child support was declared unconstitutional by the Supreme Court.
What did she say?
Supreme Court decisions are a judge's Achilles heel. It is their death knell. When you find Supreme Court decisions supporting your case, it's a wrap.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W.
It's like winning.
Okay, let me read it to you. It's delicious. Okay, child support was declared unconstitutional in a Minnesota Supreme Court ruling for violating the separation of powers required by the Minnesota Constitution in Article 3, Section 1. Further, child support agencies' actions are also unconstitutional due to lack of probable cause. You don't even have to find case law. Just quote everything that I just said, put that in a notice, and send that to the clerk of court. And notate your case number if it's in the court, or send it to the child support agency with your case number with the child support agency or the court. It's a wrap. It's a thing of beauty. But yes, you can learn how to legally close your own child support case by holding the child support agency accountable to their own laws. It's just that simple, y'all. Go to my website. It's AneliaSutton.com.
All right, fellas, y'all heard that. Now, I will give a caveat and say that's only in Minnesota, but it's only a matter of time before these types of cases get assembled into a class action type suit. And then it'll hit the Supreme Court and we'll get definitive parameters on what these child support courts can and cannot do. And it's not looking too good. I'm from Tennessee. You know, we were the first state to pass the mandatory DNA test, and there's a whole bunch of other things. And seeing how this is the first video that I've done, I'm gonna cover all of that. I do videos in series. This is part 1. Believe me, I've got some content coming in parts 2 and 3 and possibly 4 that's some of it's good, some of it's bad, but what the main gist you're gonna see is that the pendulum swung real far one way, and it's been unfair to men, and now everything is collapsing because men won't even date these chicks. We won't marry them, we won't touch them. We're not finna get trapped in the alimony system of divorce court, and we're definitely not finna get trapped in the family court and paying child support.
Let him cook.
I'm gonna let him. Let him.
No. Well, now that pendulum is swinging back the other way, and it's gaining momentum. Let's continue.
Lead attorney here. Hope you guys are doing well. Today, we're gonna talk about the worst type of child support case there is. This is the absolute worst, no doubt about it. A lot of men are suffering under child support orders that are simply unfair. But this type of child support case is special. This is the absolute worst of them all. Think about the most terrible type of case you can imagine. This type of case is worse. I've been practicing family law for over 19 years, and I cannot begin to tell you some of the horrific things that I've seen in almost 2 decades. You have no idea. Let's look at a concrete example of a case in this category. We're in Arizona. You have a boy. He's 14 years old. Men, can you even remember what it's like to be 14? Do you have a 14-year-old boy family member that you see often? Can you see their mentality? I know 30-year-olds that can't figure out what's going on. So 14, Nick Olivas. Nick was 14. Nick came from a rough household and he was a loner. You've seen children who are loners. They have stuff going on in their heads. Now, Nick gets gets assaulted by a 20-year-old woman. I can't say what he really was without getting this video censored. So when I say assaulted, what you need to hear is what he really was. Are you understanding me? It was statutory, and it starts with an R.
Let me at him!
Now, Arizona law says that if you are under the age of 15, no one can legally engage in certain types of conduct with you. That makes sense because you're a child. But the 20-year-old didn't care. She took advantage of the situation anyways. Then she disappears. 2 years after graduation, the state comes knocking at his door. He was 20 years old. The state's all, hey, we're freezing your little bank account. And by the way, you owe us $15,000. Of course, Nick's all, $15,000. And members of the jury, stop for a second. Can you remember how much money you thought $15,000 was when you were 20 years old? So Nick's all, $15,000 for what? And the state's like, for back child support. And Nick's all, what back child support? And the state says, for your kid. And Nick's like, what got kid?
What? What the?
I don't have any kids. You see, Nick didn't know about the baby. Oh yeah, there was a baby. The baby who now was 6 years old. 6 years old when Nick himself was 20. Well, when Nick was assaulted, his victimizer got pregnant. Of course, she kept the baby, and now the state wants to go after Nick for child support.
Come on now, dog. Come on, man.
But check this out. Not only do they want child support going forward, but they want over $15,000 in child support from when Nick himself was a child. He was still a minor and he didn't even know about the baby. Man, the state is charging Nick for every single one of those months when he was a kid, when he was 14, when he was 15, 16, 17. Guys, are you listening to me? He was a victim minor owing back child support. And not only that, the state wants him to pay 10% interest for all the years when he himself was a child that he didn't pay. Why didn't he pay? Because he was a child. He was statutorily. Oh, and that's not all. The state wants him to pay for his victimizer's medical bills when she had the baby.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
Yeah, as a single dad, father of a son, this whole little story from lead attorney is infuriating. Okay, so this 14-year-old kid was SA'd by a 20-year-old woman, and I guess because she's female, she's not considered a PDF file, huh? That's only men, huh? Boys can't be Lestered. I guess that's impossible, huh? That just doesn't happen, huh? Boys can't be victim of S crimes, huh? Boy, I tell you, man, look. And then to compound the grievance, to compound this miscarriage of justice, he has to pay child support. Do you understand? For me, the equivalent of this is some chicks some chicks get raped as a teenager, and now she has to give the guy that did it visitation, and he gets rights as a father. Man, if you don't, man.
How about no?
For real, this is what we're doing. And then on top of that, he has to pay child support, and he has to pay back child support with a 10% interest rate on it.
Me, you bastard!
From when he was a child, from 14 on, he has to. Children can't even enter into legal contracts. How is this legal?
He's got a point.
It shouldn't be. And anybody in Arizona that ain't fighting this is, God, have mercy. And then on top of that, on top of having to pay child support and pay 10% interest on the accumulated debt, he has to pay for the medical bills of his statutory, you know the word.
Yeah. You can't make this shit up, people.
I'm at a loss for words. But this is why the system is collapsing. This is why everything is starting to change, because they see men are not playing this game anymore. We are not participating in the dating game, in marriage, or society, because it's stacked against us. Why bother? fucking sad. Let's continue.
Child support payments be fucking dudes over without a warning. Courts be having guys that have a slightly above average salary pay half of what they get paid every month for a kid that can't even say his ABCs yet. Like, what the fuck do you need $20,000 a month for? Gucci diapers? Like, why you need all this money to take care of a kid for? Like, I know kids aren't cheap, but as a regular ass dude, I can't imagine spending more than $3,000 per month on a child.
I know, right?
A kid only needs what he needs. He don't need no designer clothes or Supreme or whatever. And do you see what these celebrities be paying in child support? They make them pay a stupid amount of money. Like, for example, Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's divorce. Brad Pitt paid her $12 million all at once for child support. And
Oh my God!
and then she claimed that shit didn't count. What the hell are you talking about? What you mean that doesn't count? What does count? The moon? And you're Angelina Jolie. You're worth $120 million. And then there's this actor, Brendan Fraser, who's been paying $1.3 million a year in child support since 2009. Jesus Christ. And in 2013, he tried to reduce it because he said he couldn't afford it anymore. Then his ex-wife comes out and says that he's been hiding how much he's been really making. Now, even if that is true, what do you need $1.3 million for? A year? You taking your kids to school at NASA? This is fucked, man, because I know for a fact that most of that money isn't going to the kid. No, it's going to that girl's beauty products, makeup, plastic surgery, and into her pockets.
That's facts, man.
And if the man is that well off to have to pay that much in child support, then maybe the court should just give that guy the child. I don't know, just a suggestion.
Damn right!
But nah, the courts be having these people set for life just from child support money. Because they ain't got no jobs, they're not contributing nothing to society, they're just sitting on their asses waiting for that $30K check every month.
More money, more money, more money!
Just because they had a baby with a baller. And the worst kind of girls are the girls that get in a relationship with these guys just to have a baby with him and leave his ass just so she can get that child support money.
Yeah, I like this guy's content. I'm gonna put a link. I'm gonna put his video in the link to his video in the description. He made some great points. The only thing I disagree with him about as a single dad, it doesn't take $3,000 a month to take care of a kid. And I don't care how expensive the city you live in, like the actual needs of the kid, clothing, food, maybe extracurricular activities and stuff like that. It does not take $3K a month, $36,000 a year to take care of a kid. It just doesn't, unless you got them in Gucci and Fendi and Balenciaga and Jordans and all kind of expensive crap. It doesn't take that. You can do it for much cheaper. And the Angelina Jolie, Brad Pitt thing, oh my God, he gave her $12 million up front and said, hey, this is for the kids. And then when they get to court, she was like, what 12 million? Oh, no, that was a gift. What? No, I need child support from him. Now, if movie star Captain Good Looks, Brad Pitt, no Diddy, if he can get done like this, what chance does the average man have? And Brendan Fraser, my guy from the Mummy movies, George of the Jungle, 90s icon, movie star, $1.3 million a year? Oh my God, no, ladies, no, ladies, it's over with. We're not participating in this system. And like my guy said in the video, if you need that much child support to function, and your man can pay that much, your ex can pay that much child support, your ex needs to get the kids. Yeah, that's true. But that's not gonna happen. You know why? Because child support is a racket. The state gets a cut of every dollar that comes through there.
More money, more money, more money!
It's a racket. And they wonder why men are dropping out of society and not having babies and not getting married. But man.
Wild and unbelievable stories here in Detroit.
This is one of them.
This is one of them. Imagine being told to pay child support for a kid that is not yours or go to jail. That was the order the state handed down to a Detroit man.
So today, he turned himself in, but here's what happened when 7 Action News reporter Kim Russell went with him to court. Carnell Alexander walked into the Frank Murphy Hall of Justice knowing in moments he could lose his freedom.
I stayed up all night, couldn't sleep, thinking about it.
Carnell is a wanted man because he refuses to do what the state orders and to pay child support for a child that DNA tests prove isn't his. A child he doesn't even know.
I haven't even had a chance to really speak to him except for one time when we took the DNA test.
Nonetheless, right now, under the law, he's a deadbeat dad. Today, he turned himself in to the judge as ordered.
Scared because I've been before this judge before.
But this time he had attorney Cherika Harris, who volunteered to help after seeing his story on 7 Action News. The judge said he will not go to jail for today.
Thank you. Thank Ms. Harris. And hope that we can resolve this soon.
I'm just trying to help him with his future.
Though the threat of jail is on hold, it is not over. Carnell Alexander still owes more than $30,000 to the state for a child that's not his because the mom wrote his name down because she needed to name someone in order to get welfare benefits.
And I had to put him down as the father. That was the only way I can get assistance.
Now,
I'm almost homeless. I'm almost in jail. I'm out of work. My money is being threatened to be taken.
Come on now, dawg. Come on, man.
Carnell isn't just worried about how this is impacting him. He says the law needs to be changed so when this happens, as it often does, other men don't become dad by default.
We can be defaulted into being a father of a child that is not ours. I don't understand that law, but it is a law in place.
In Detroit, Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
Yeah, you would think that mother would have to pay that money back instead of him, who's not the father's child.
But wait! There's more!
You saw first on 7 Action News. A man said he was tired of paying child support for a child that was not his, and the courts knew was not his. Now, with this court order, he is one step closer to justice. Carnell Alexander says he got a shock during a traffic stop in the early 1990s. The officer arrested him, telling him he's a deadbeat dad. When he appeared in court, Carnell told the judge he didn't have any children.
It's such an unfair system, period.
Turns out, while he was in prison for a crime he committed as a young man, an ex listed him as father. Notice of the paternity hearing was taken to his old house. When he didn't appear for the hearing he didn't know about, he was made dad by default. He went to court again and again, but could not get the matter resolved.
No one ever listened until I met you.
After we told his story on 7 Action News, an attorney volunteered to take on the case. Cherika Harris says she did so because she's outraged by how the system treated Carnell Alexander.
We declare him a deadbeat. We take his money, we garnish his wages, we take away his abilities to earn a living. That's an illegal taking. That's a violation of his constitutional rights.
Attorney Harris is preparing to appear before a federal judge and argue that Alexander deserves to sue the state and Wayne County for violating his civil rights. She says the case is important to protect others. It is only as her suit has moved forward that Wayne County dismissed the child support case against her client. Carnell got official notice 2 days ago that after a 26-year-long fight, he doesn't owe child support for a child that is not his.
The judge has finally agreed with me that this shouldn't have been done.
I feel very happy that the debt has been lifted, but I'm still hurt by what I've been through over 26 years.
His attorney will be in federal court tomorrow, asking a judge to allow him to seek justice for the violation of his civil rights. We'll let you know what happens. Kim Russell, 7 Action News.
I think a lot of people are waiting to see how that one will play out. Now,
good day, everyone. Good day. Good day. Mr. Manser, you claim you spent 5 years in prison for failing to pay child support for the defendant, Ms. Sears' son, Dylan. Right. Because of the sensitivity of this issue, ran 2 tests. The results are as follows. In the case of Manser versus Sears, Mr. Manser, you are not his father.
Let me run that back for you. Smutny,
you are not his father.
Oh, man. I get her in prison. Dylan, I'm sorry, bro. This is why. She should be convicted of some crime.
No, I should not. I didn't.
That is fraud.
Mr. Manser.
That is fraud.
I know you're upset. I know it's overwhelming. Miss Sears, do you know?
Yes, ma'am.
You know who his father is?
Yes, I talked to him still.
Get away from my son. He apologized.
Okay, I put those last 3 clips in there in that order for a reason. Okay, do you see how that one guy who he wasn't even served a summons? They mailed it to his old address, and then when he didn't show up in court, they made him father by default. I thought when you got a summons for a court, you had to be served by like a process server. You know, I guess that's one of them weird hinky things that's gonna get all these cases overturned. And that man paid $30K. He was $30K in debt. He didn't pay. He is $30K in debt in child support for a kid that was established wasn't his, and they were trying to lock him up to get money out of him. Where's the habeas corpus? And my question is, why wasn't this chick not only charged for paternity fraud, but welfare fraud? She lied to the welfare office about the paternity of her child to get welfare benefits. That's paternity fraud and welfare fraud.
He's got a point.
And even the anchor at the end of the first story said, I don't understand why they're not going after the mother for the money. Me either. And then in the second part of the story, I'm glad my guy got justice. And did you notice in the story, right before the guy was about to go to court and sue the state to get this overturned, the state all of a sudden said, hey, no. You know what? This ain't right. We're going to drop the all things, and he doesn't know a thing. You know why? Because that ruling would have opened up a floodgate of other lawsuits and other, not even lawsuits. All dudes would have had to do was file the motion, and possibly thousands and thousands of cases would have been overturned. He was almost homeless because of this. He lost jobs because of this. They threatened him with prison time because of a child that he proved wasn't his. And you think it can't happen? That's what the last clip was for. That's why I put the last clip in there. That man, Mr. Munzer, that white guy, did 5 years in prison for a child that wasn't his. And the mother knew it wasn't his and tried to act like he didn't have a right to be aggrieved. And then when he went over to tell the kid, hey man, you know, I ain't got nothing against you. I don't want you to think this is, she gonna holler out, don't touch my son. After you had him locked up for 5 years, he's got more, man, look, man. Anyway, I'm sorry. This is my child support series. There's going to be more to come in this series because there's tons of stories out there like this. And I feel like this is a very important subject that needs to be discussed more. So I'm going to push it into the lexicon. I'm going to push it into the conversation. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up right here. I got a little animated there at the end. If you would, please give me a like, give me a share, and give me a sub. I'm going to put the links to a couple of these videos I reacted to in the comments section. And thank you for stopping through. Toodles!